That's a Wilbur everybody. Jamie here from Wayapa. What a week we have had here at Wayapa HQ. So we have had the opportunity this week to share Wayapa on a few different platforms, which has been amazing. We got to deliver Wayapa to the Australian Gambling Workers Conference that incorporated people from New Zealand and from around Australia, talking about problem gambling and the issues it causes and the different various techniques and skills that workers who work with people with problem gambling utilise. So we got to showcase and share Wayapa over 3 days. So I got to do a presentation and talk about the philosophies and principles. That was just a quick little 25-minute snapshot. And I also got to do a 1-hour workshop on the Tuesday, and then Wednesday go back and go over and talk to people about the different ways of being Wayapa, as well as using Wayapa but being Wayapa. I mean, I think that's probably the most important part of it, as for people who know Wayapa and understand that it is a tool to be utilised every minute of the day. It's a thought, it's an action, it's a feeling, it's a, you give back to Mother Earth through your daily interactions with your conscious consumerism. So, we've had a great week in doing that, and today we get to go off and share it this morning with a group of RMIT students who are looking at business upscaling. So taking Wayapa global, so global domination, so get on board. So as you know, Wayapa work is an Aboriginal wellness practice. It's we've only packaged it into a modality because we live in a modern day, modern context. We need to be reawakened with this knowledge, but also with this feeling. So, we've taken ancient knowledge and wisdom, and not just Aboriginal, but ancient knowledge and wisdom, and we have packaged it up and put it in a way that people can relate to. So it doesn't just refer to me as an Aboriginal person; it refers to anybody who's living on this planet. The concept of being indigenous to an area or a place, but also indigenous to the planet. So not being alien. So it's about being reconnected back to our environment. So it's about looking at as humans and humanity. So I think the difference, we had some conversations this week with people about some of the other great modalities, Tai Chi, Yoga, Qigong, and they kept saying the difference for them when they listened to the Wayapa dialogue is that it actually is about them. Wayapa is about them. We teach Wayapa from an environmental perspective first and foremost. So it's about our environmental knowledge, our environmental connection, and how the environment isn't separate from us, but it is. And what I mean by that is that the environment has been here since the beginning of time. So the 11 elements that we talk about in Wayapa, there's 14, but the 11 elements that we talk about environment have been here since the beginning of time, over and over and over and over again. So, the creation, the sun, the moon, the earth, they've all played a part, all the elements, the wind, the rain, everything that's here, the trees, the lightning, everything is a part of Wayapa before we were here. So the last 3 elements, the hunter, the gatherer, the people, and then the child came later. And that is what Wayapa is about teaching. How we, the last 3 elements, have to be grateful for all the other elements that come before that, because they're working in our best interest. So we had an opportunity to share that with people from the gambling conference. So talking about disconnection, talking about how Wayapa is utilised to reconnect people back into an awareness that there are things out there that they can tap into, and it can be beneficial to them. But probably the main conversational point that we yarned about today, which actually blew people's minds, was the fact that Wayapa is a wellness practice. It's a generational wellness practice. It's about ensuring the future generations are well. So we do Wayapa as a wellness practice for ourselves. We do Wayapa for the wellness of our environment now. But the point of difference that we're talking about in a modern context is that generational wellness, leaving a space for our children, our children's children, our great-grandchildren, our great-great-grandchildren, our great-great-great-grandchildren, our great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Are we doing that? And that's what Wayapa is about. Wayapa is about affirming and making sure that the wellness of our generations to come is going to be assured. So how are we being responsible for that? So through the meditation, connecting in for ourselves, for setting purpose and intention of making sure that the concepts of conscious consumerism are utilised every day. Ancient cultures all over the planet at some stage of evolution practice conscious consumerism in a world where we're just bombarded with materialism that we think it's going to make us somebody, you know, that being mindful about that. It's not saying, don't get me wrong, it's not saying that you have to give up everything and walk flat-footed, barefooted. You know, if you want to do that, that's amazing. I suggest that you do that, because walking barefooted on the earth is really helpfully benefiting you, but also hopefully the connection to that will be strong enough for you to actually want to look after it. So yeah, everyday practices, you know, the plastics that we consume that are polluting the oceans, you know, the chemicals that we put in our sinks, you know, can you do it better? So Wayapa is about acknowledging, you know, that we need to be looking at wellness from a generational perspective. And by learning Wayapa, so by learning the meditation, by doing the movements, you know, having all those mind, body, and spirit benefits are about making yourself feel good, that you're doing something for future generations, because that's what this is ultimately about. So I spiritually feel well when I'm connecting to Mother Earth, when I'm connecting to my environment. I feel good, I feel really good. I didn't have a great start to the day yesterday morning. It felt really flat, and you know, the more I'm awakened to things like planetary alignments, you know, Mercury retrograde ends tomorrow, so the more I'm connected into that. I'm feeding also on the full moon, the waxing moon energy as well, but you know, I'm aware that I'm, you know, not that, what's the word? I'm not like today. I'm feeling amazing. So yesterday I was feeling flat, so I had to sit in that and acknowledge that. Using those well-being techniques of Wayapa helped me shift from that. I actually went and spent some time out in the environment yesterday afternoon, and yeah, come back feeling amazing. So, you know, Wayapa is about generational well-being as much as it is about our own currently today. I think the concept of living in the now can sometimes be taken in a different way of, oh, consume, 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 don't worry about tomorrow, as opposed to just sitting in the now, emotionally or spiritually. So, you know, Wayapa is about sharing those concepts and connecting in as humans. So, yeah, look, I'm really excited to be continuing to share Wayapa's journey. Thank you for everybody who's subscribing to us. We've got some great stuff happening in this space going forward. I'm about to go and shoot a video to our amazing Wayapa workers, so our diploma practitioners who are practicing and teaching Wayapa. They are accredited with IICT Wayapa practitioners. I'm about to go and share a video into our Wayapa group that they are a part of, because they are accredited practitioners. And yeah, so if you're interested in being a Wayapa practitioner or learning more about Wayapa, we have an online course available. Hit us up, shoot us up with an email. Wayapa.com is our website. You'll find all our details, whether our phone numbers. Follow us on Instagram, as well as subscribe and like to this page, please. And share it around. Have conversations about Wayapa. We'd love to hear from you. And so from now, I'll say Yarabi and Muruk. And I'll catch you next time.